Welcome to the Nutrition Discovery Lab's Knowledge Portal. This video summarizes key findings from our study that investigated the effects of white potato consumption on appetite, food intake, and blood glucose in children and adolescents. Some epidemiological studies have associated white potato consumption with weight gain in healthy adults. However, white potatoes contribute several healthful nutrients to the diet, such as potassium, protein, and vitamin C, to name a few. In fact, recent research has associated white potato consumption with increased satiety, which is the feeling of fullness after a meal, and decreased short-term food intake among adults. Further studies are needed to understand these effects in children and adolescents, and to determine whether they persist throughout the day. So, researchers at the Nutrition Discovery Labs aim to compare the short-term effects of white potatoes with other carbohydrate foods, when eaten in a mixed meal, on satiety, food intake, and glycemic response in children and adolescents. On 5 separate mornings after an overnight fast, 21 participants aged 9 to 14 arrived at the lab, and either consumed one of 4 isocaloric breakfast treatments, or continued to fast. 3 breakfast treatments included an omelet served with either mashed potatoes, French fries, or white beans, while 1 treatment, the control meal, consisted of common breakfast items. Over the 3-hour period, blood sugar levels were measured to assess glycemic response, and visual analog scale questionnaires were used to assess subjective wellness and motivation to eat. At the 180-minute mark, participants were served pizza for lunch and ate until they felt comfortably full. Total food intake was calculated using records from the ad libitum lunch, plus the participants' food and beverage intake for the rest of the day, which was recorded by their parents. Our findings showed that participants had significantly lower appetites after consuming the mashed potato breakfast compared with all other breakfast treatments. Additionally, participants ate less lunch after receiving the mashed potato and French fry breakfasts than they did after receiving the control meal or skipping breakfast, but not after the white bean breakfast. Since this study examined short-term outcomes, future research should consider the long-term effects of white potato consumption on satiety, food intake, and body weight status in children and adolescents. We also recommend studying the effect of hormone responses and sex or gender on food intake regulation. In conclusion, consuming white potatoes with eggs for breakfast resulted in increased satiety, decreased short-term food intake, and similar total daily caloric intakes when compared with skipping breakfast.
For more information regarding this study, or to view other studies conducted by the Nutrition Discovery Labs, please visit us online at ndlabs.ca.